to do a quick video and talk about yesterday being National Overdose Awareness Day. Or not yesterday, the 31st. And I wasn't aware, this happened last year, I wasn't aware that that was National Overdose Awareness Day. And finding that out caused me to kind of look into some stuff. And just wanted to see, with all the awareness and everything on opiates, if there was any progress made in overdoses regarding opiates. And so I started looking into some stuff, and there's definitely not. There's several different numbers out there depending on which websites you go to. I use drugabuse.gov for a lot of the stuff I look up, and they cite that 128 people in the United States die after overdosing on opiates every day. The CDC says 162 people die of drug deaths every day. It says opiate overdose epidemic, CDC. They don't specifically say opiates, but regardless, I have a hard time believing much that comes from the CDC at this point in my life. Whole different conversation, but this is a scary number. There are 128 people who are dying every single day. That's 128 brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles and loved ones and friends and co-workers and sons and daughters that every single day are taking their last breath because they're addicted to opiates. Most of these are heroin overdoses, but 83% of people who are heroin addicts started with a prescription pain pill. 83% of people who are now jamming a needle into their arm started because a doctor gave them a pain pill. That hits so close to home with me. That hurts me in a way that's hard to put into words. I've said this before, and I don't say this in any kind of way other than to just share my story and hope that somebody hears it and it helps them. But I should have been one of those 128 people. I should have. The amount I was taking, and especially at the end when I started mixing in benzos, looking back at some of the pictures of me nodding out, some of the videos of me completely out of it, some of the voicemails I've left on my wife's phone, some of the stories that my kids tell me, they're hard to hear because that wasn't me. And these pills are designed to hook into your soul and change you at your core. So becoming addicted to them is a very challenging thing, and there's this stigma, this embarrassment that comes with it. And because of that stigma and that embarrassment, people have a hard time admitting and openly saying they need help. There's this embarrassment that comes because it started so innocently. And with 2 days ago being, National Overdose Awareness Day, it just hit me really hard that you don't know when it's your time. You don't know when your number is going to be called. You don't know when this all comes to an end. And with some of the fake stuff that's coming into our country nowadays, it is scary. I had a very good friend of mine send me a picture of an Oxy 30, and if you're familiar with pain pills at all, Oxy 30s with the M on them are kind of the Cadillac of pain pills. That's everybody's top choice. He sent me pictures of Oxy 30 M's that were fentanyl pills. I couldn't tell them apart. I couldn't tell the difference. I legitimately could not. Now, granted, I was looking at a picture, and I haven't held a blue Oxy 30 in my hand for 5.5 years. But I remember them. I spent, well over a decade taking those damn things every single day. So I'm pretty familiar with them. I couldn't tell them apart. That is some scary, scary stuff. You don't know. Same thing with heroin. Some of this stuff that's coming up, you hear all these things that half of the street drugs that are being sold as heroin aren't even heroin. They've got fentanyl in it and some other bullshit, and people are just slamming that into their arm. And the crazy thing is, you hear these stories of drug dealers that if somebody overdoses, people want it more because they know it's powerful stuff. That just shows you how fucked up addicts are. With that said, they don't want to be there. They know there's an issue. They know they're struggling with something, and whether they admit it or not, they're scared that they're going to overdose. Some of them might not care because they're that miserable deep down inside, they know there's a better way to live. They know there's a change that they can make. So if you or anybody you know is struggling with addiction, if you or anybody you know is actively addicted to anything, do not wait, get help right now. Right now. I understand it's embarrassing. I understand it's tough. I understand walking through an addiction is one of the toughest things you'll ever do in your life. I also understand that walking through an addiction is by far the best thing you will ever do for yourself in your life. It's the best thing you'll ever do for your loved ones. It is the thing you will be most proud of in your life. And there is a beauty in life on the other side of addiction that is hard to put into words. In fact, I don't even think there's a way to put it into words. I think it's something that you just have to experience. But there's a beauty of accomplishing that, of getting to the other side, of healing yourself, of being able to use that thing that's in every one of us addicts in a good way. I say this all the time. I do not think being an addict is a bad thing. I think when you're using it in active addiction, I think it's a horrible thing. But I think that thing inside us addicts that makes us addicts, that makes us do what we do, that, you know, the one more, what does this do? I can always more, there's always another level, there's this, you know, that thing is a beautiful thing. And if you're healed, you can use that in an amazing way. You can use that to change lives. You can use that to help people. A determined addict is an unstoppable person, period, end of story. In active addiction or not in active addiction, a determined addict will not be denied what they're trying to do. They just won't. Their brains work different. We look at things different. We do not hear no. If you tell us there's no way to do something, we're going to figure out a way to do something. That's just how our heads work. So with this many people dying every single day, do not wait. You don't know when your last load is gonna be your last load. You don't know when you hit that plunger, that's it, you're gone. There's no coming back. Maybe they don't get there in time with Narcan. Who knows? But there's 128 people who are dying every single day just from opiate overdoses. And I promise you, all 128 of those people didn't know that today was going to be their day. Didn't know that they're not going to be here tomorrow. They probably had plans tomorrow. They probably had plans next week. Probably got off the phone with somebody and said, okay, I love you, I'll talk to you tomorrow. They're not going to talk to them tomorrow. This is real. This is a real epidemic. This is a real issue. People are dying every single day. 128 of them every single day. So let that sink in. And as always, if you or anybody you know is struggling with an addiction, reach out. Don't wait. Reach out. If you're the loved one of an addict, or you have an addict as a loved one, I guess I should say, brushing this under the rug does not help anybody. Ignoring this does not help anybody. Might be easier at this exact moment. Long-term doesn't play out well. Call them out on it. Get help. There's a million ways to get help nowadays. There's detox centers, there's treatment centers, there's recovery coaches, there's people who have been there and done that who are more than happy to talk to you. I don't know any addict who's walked through an addiction who does not have it in their heart to want to help other addicts. I don't know any of them, and I know a bunch of recovered people. There's something in going through that you want to reach back and help people feel the way that you do. You want them to see what that recovery life looks like. You want them to see what that healed life looks like. So reach out, get help, don't wait. You don't know when it's going to be your day. We just had National Overdose Awareness Day. Don't let it go to waste. There are so many people dying every day. It's sad. It's heart-wrenching. So do something about it. Reach out, get help, stop this, because you don't know when it's going to be your time.